Good evening, and welcome to Injustice Investigations. I'm your host, Al Scott. I thank you all for tuning in tonight. It is a special show that we're doing tonight. It is set for an hour. It takes us to Houston, Texas. And by now, I'm sure all of you know what tonight's show is going to be about. Uh, Before we get into tonight's show, there were some things I just recently found out through some of my YouTube subscribers that Vince has a bond reduction, and I'm gonna speak on that. I don't know why. I just saw that he has a bond reduction, and if you have not been touched by this story, you simply have to be a body without a soul. Okay, good evening, the Tigers. Uh, Good coverage for this service. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Okay. You would have to have been a body without a soul not to be touched by this little girl's story. It's as if Maleah had the world to stand still when her life came to a violent end at the hands of evil, at the hands of the individual that was supposed to have been the ones not only to care for her and to take care and to love her, but the ones that was charged to protect her. And you protect your child, you protect your children, like the Secret Service protects the children of the President of the United States. Simply put, you leave no room for error. Any excuse that Brittany will give for why her child is dead is an inexcusable excuse. It is absolutely impossible. There is absolutely no defense for absolute wrong. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you at. There can never ever be any defense for absolute wrong. Earlier today, I logged on to Facebook and a post popped up. I want to share with you what this gentleman had to say. His name is, I think his name is Kelly. And here's what he had to say. I found your page on accident, just browsing photos, following the story from inside my record. See, I am a repo man here in Houston, Texas. And I'm a father. I'm 46 years old. I have 2 kids. He's a widow. I broke down with tears in my eyes pouring down my cheeks like I lost someone close to me. Even though I didn't know this little angel, I know no matter what our skin color is or our religious background, we are all human beings. And we all come together in the end when we all come face to face with our Maker. I have to forgive this man publicly in front of witnesses here within and where I will post this on your page also so I can stop hurting and get my head straight from all that I have learned about her last moments of life and death. She is not in any way in any pain or will ever be again. But he and her mother will be for a long time. And even after their deaths, they will endure the wrath of God, who they will face should they never ask for forgiveness, and they will always be looking over their shoulders for the rest of their lives here on earth. Kaylin, baby girl, I hope you are in God's garden and playground for children. Get into play all you want. You did nothing wrong. Your name will never be forgotten. With tears of sadness for your tragedy, I want to end with, I love you, sincerely, Kelly. I wanted to share that with you because I don't know him and he don't know me. As he said, he found the page by accident, and I found it very touching because this has absolutely nothing to do with race. This is a human issue. And I don't understand everything that's going on in Texas, Houston, Texas, that is. But a lot of what I'm seeing is wrong. And some of it, even criminal. A 4-year-old girl on April 30th, I watched her on surveillance video. I watched this little girl behind this man. She was going in behind him. But she had to look like she didn't want to go. And if you saw the surveillance video, you know for about 2 or 3 seconds, she stood still, reluctant to go in because she lives there. She's been in there before, and she knows what happens behind that door when it's closed. And it's nothing good for her. And it is almost as if she felt death. She stopped. But she knew she had no choice. She had to go. Because either way, if she went, she was in trouble. If she didn't go, she was going to be in trouble. My emails are full. Inbox on Facebook is full about this one little girl from people all over the world that have been touched by this diabolical act of 2 individuals, yes, 2 individuals that should have been her protector. They should have been protecting her from the boogeyman, protecting her from the predators. But little did she know, and did we know, the boogeyman and the predator were 2. The 2 that had her in their care. Before I get to the judge, I spoke with Ron. He is the director of the funeral home, Harold Funeral Home in Springfield. Spoke with him about 30 minutes ago. I guess he called. And he laid out some dates for me. But one day in particular is what I'm worried about. It's what you all are worried about. Where was Bridget on April 30th? Well, here's what Rob said. And it's a recorded conversation because anytime, any calls, incoming and outgoing, are always recorded. And I didn't have time to load it up, so I can play a little bit of it, but I will do that tomorrow. Here's what he said. They had her dad's body then, but she wasn't at the funeral home. He knows that because there was no need at that particular time for Bridget to be there. So if she was in town, and he said she was, he met with her, I think, twice. He met with the family, so he did say she was there, but the dates are kind of sketchy, and of course reporters have been calling him all day long. And basically, it's the same thing. I think. I gotta check, and so and that's it on that. So the 30th is like she was somewhere, She could have been in that city, and maybe she wasn't. Now, uh, someone said something that they were tired of people defending Bridget, and I'm tired of people defending Bridget. Again, there's absolutely no defense for absolute wrong. And I'm going to stop in a minute because I want this to be a conversation where we interact with one another. I want to know what you all are thinking. And do you think Bridget should go to jail? I'll be the first to say it. I think she should go right now. If she don't have a way, I'll pick her up. And I will take her. She went to court today. Darren Vince was scheduled to appear before a judge, but they postponed the hearing for a later date. She was there with her spokesperson, X, and he had to stand for a minute because she couldn't come out of the courtroom because there were over a dozen protesters there chanting, justice for Maleah, justice for Maleah. They called her a murderer to her face, told her she should go to jail to her face. I didn't see this, but I heard a reporter say it was the first time he saw a tear come from her eye. Probably did. But that tear was not out of sympathy for the loss of her daughter. That tear was because I'm caught. I'm scared. I don't want to go to prison. That's what that tear was for. Bridget signed her own daughter's death warrant. She signed it. She signed it. And now I think it's time for the state of Texas to sign Bridget's death warrant. She does not deserve the title mama or mother because she's neither. She is a monster in human form. And I wish they still had the firing squad in Texas to knock her ass off the map right. And I'd be right there watching it, streaming it live on Facebook. I have absolutely zero sympathy for Bridget. Now, I don't know where Bridget was now, because there's still some inconsistency about, well, some said they verified it over here. They verified it over there. No, we can't do it over here. No, we can't do it over here. Well, the police said they have airline tickets. Well, I don't give a damn about your airline tickets. Do you have surveillance video? I haven't seen that. If it is, let me know. I haven't seen it. I need to see surveillance video of her fat ass getting on the plane, leaving. That's what I need to see. Because anyone can purchase a ticket. And it might not be the person that's flying all the time. People do all kind of things. Even if Bridget was in Springfield, it does not exclude her from her daughter's death. She could have been given orders from where she was at. I don't know the lady's name. I've been so busy I didn't have time to write it down. But she said that she didn't believe everything Brittany was saying about Vince. I don't know Vince. I don't know Bridget. But I think the same thing. This young lady, evidently she knows him. She says that he's scared of her. He does exactly what she says. I don't know if that's the truth or not. I'm hoping she comment again or contact me, and I want to find out why she said that. And she said if Vince had told her, if Bridget told Vince to do something, he would do it. Maybe. I don't know. But here's what I do know. It's every time I look at that little girl in the grass behind him, get a little nervous, get a little teary-eyed, because I know what's getting ready to happen. Her life is coming to an end. And I watched little kids yesterday and grown-ups put bears and stuffed animals right outside of her door where she would come out whenever they would let her and come out and play. Somebody says, I'm broken, Miss Taylor. And I can feel you on that because I think we all are hurting. I think we all have heard it. For 2 days in a row, I've asked this one question: do you think Bridget should go to jail? And it's like they are waiting on that question because the answers come boom, 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 boom. Hell yeah, get her, shoot her now, kill her, execute her. Because Bridget is a monster in human form. There was a lady. She's a she used to be a social worker. Her name is I'm just gonna say Sandra. I won't say her last name yet. Here's what she said about Brittany, not just about a case in the open, but Brittany in particular. I worked as a CPS for 12 years, and I knew this was going to be the ending for this child. I'll say it again. I worked for CPS for 12 years, and I knew that this was going to be the ending for this child. She went on to say that, and I know this is true, all they had to do was complete a parenting course. That's it. Okay, sign here, that's it. Somebody says the mother should be charged with murder. I totally agree. And she went on to say all she would have to do was complete parenting skills. And she didn't even do that. Court records needs to be pulled. Brittany needs to go to jail. Brittany charges will be endangering the welfare of a child, failure to protect her baby, failure to protect her baby. That reminds me of when Bridget first spoke, when she came before the cameras. Here's what she said: I want Maleah. I want Maleah. Why would she say that? Most mothers would have said, I want my baby. I want my baby. But that's not what she said. She tried so hard to get a tear to form, but it wouldn't. You can't make something be there that's not there. I will testify in court. Bridget hated her daughter. I will testify in court that Bridget hated her daughter. What's my proof? Her daughter's dead. Her daughter's dead. Her daughter's dead. Not only is Maleah dead, Maleah's body was dismembered. When the detectives searched the apartment, found droppings of blood, confirmed that to be the DNA of Maleah. 4 years old. Didn't do nothing wrong. It should never hurt for a child to go home. But her best days of freedom and laughter was probably at the daycare, which she hadn't been seen there since April the 26th. Vance alleges he left home to go pick up Brittany from the airport, Bush Airport. And when he left, he had Maleah with him and the 1-year-old son. I didn't want to say that, but yeah, it's out. Yeah, there were body tissues found in the home, and that's all I'm gonna say on that until the police release their information. But soon Vince will, I guess, I don't know. Uh, I just knew earlier today that soon he would be charged with first degree murder. But when I come in and go on my YouTube channel, you all are telling me that he has a bond reduction. And I'm like, what the hell? And then so I go on and look. You, you have a man that a child is dead, a child's body is dismembered, a child's body is placed in a garbage bag. That garbage bag with the child in it is placed inside of a large blue laundry basket as if it was what her body was nothing but laundry or garbage. In the back of your silver Nissan Altima that you alleges the kidnapper stole from you when they kidnapped Maleah. Cadaver dogs picked up the scent of a decomposing body in the trunk of that car that he said was stolen. And when they let him out on the interstate, he tried to get help. Nobody would help him. Don't believe it. So he walked to the hospital. That was a lie. Surveillance camera showed somebody dropped him and the child off at the hospital. And not only did they drop him off at the hospital, whoever drove him was driving his car that was stolen. I don't know if there's a punishment on the planet that would fit them right now. I just don't know because I can't fathom why someone would do this to a child. But it happens. It happens. The child had several brain surgeries. We have those pictures, but we've decided not to show those pictures. I just have a cutoff point for some things. Now, if you show those pictures, you have them, then that's fine. I'm just not going to show them on my page or anywhere through my social media accounts. There are some very, very disturbing pictures. And when we first got a glimpse at Brittany, the reporter asked, had she or Vince ever physically abused the child or sexually abused the child? I remember like it happened yesterday. She said, no, we're not those kinds of people. She said, no, we're not. We, that means she's speaking for her and Vince, right? Well, something happened between that sentence and maybe 48 hours. She came back and through her spokesperson, X, Vince has been molesting my child for a long time. Vince has been beating my child for a long time. Vince would take my child to daycare, but sometimes he would bring her back and he would molest her. Vince would be bathing my child, and I didn't like the way he would bathe her because he would always be feeling on her. And I told him to stop it, and he would. Vince beat my child so bad one time I wanted to take her to the doctor. He stood up and said, you ain't going no damn well. So I didn't, but a few days later I wound up taking her. Well, Brittany also said that she never thought that Vince would harm her child. That's what she told reporters. That's what she told the police. I never thought he would harm her. I've said this over and over again. I guess molesting your daughter is not harming her. Beating her is not harming her. Beating upside her head to the point to where not only did the child have to have numerous brain surgeries, she had one just last month, and it was so bad one time, life threatening. Half of her skull had to be taken out. So that you don't consider that harm. I want to know what the hell you think harm is. She didn't say he did it one time. She said he did it numerous times. And we're going to catch Brittany in a lie. Well, several lies. She's standing there with Malcolm X, and he says, look at her, she's visually shaking. Bullshit, she's not visually shaking, she's deliberately shaking. Not a goddamn tear, not one damn tear. Her eyes dry as the damn desert. You cannot get remorse where there is no remorse. Bridget hated her child. That's a strong word, isn't it? Yeah. Well, you should be able to agree with me when you realize she's dead. The child is dead. So don't tell me that she loved the child. Someone said the other day, we need to give Brittany the benefit of the doubt. Well, you give her fat ass the benefit of the doubt. I'm not. We shouldn't crucify her. She says, I'm not going to crucify her in public. You don't have to. I'll do it. She's a lying bitch. That's what I said. She's a lying bitch. You killed that child. You killed that child. This was not done by Vince alone. I don't know if everything she's saying about Vince is true. Bridget has gotten herself into a cup of hot water. And she's doing every and any damn thing she can and saying and any damn thing she thinks needs to be said to free her ass from a jail cell. Malcolm X says she needs to see a psychiatrist. Alfonso Scott says she needs to see a damn jail cell. It's as simple as that. I have no sympathy for her. I wish I could talk to her one time. You'll see some tears and I get to talking to her. You'll see them. This is a baby. The child is 4 years old. If you don't want the baby, don't make the baby. If you get the baby and you didn't want the baby, I respect you if you give the baby up. I respect you. So, when you left to go bury your daddy, you got in a plane, 35,000 feet in the air. Listen to me now. She got in a plane, 35,000 feet in the air. And she left her baby with a child predator, and a bruiser, and a murderer. That's who she left her child with. Brittany left her child with the same guy she was describing the other day to us. The monster, the predator. She even used the word monster to describe Vince. This is who Bridget left the child with. But how can you leave? Would you leave a thief in your home? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. Why did you leave her with him? You left her with him because you are part of the reason Maleah is dead. He didn't pick me up from the airport. Stop, go back, I'm going too fast. When I called, he said he was cleaning the apartment. And that was odd. And so in my mind, I'm like, well, what the fuck is odd about him cleaning? You should be happy that he's cleaning. But he was cleaning with bleach. And it didn't say why, but say he was running out and he had to go get some more. I found that odd. I found that strange. She found that odd. She found that strange. Listen. She found that odd. She found that strange. When the plane landed, Vince wasn't there. The children were not there. The car was not there. You called Vince, allegedly. He didn't answer. You called your mother. I got questions for her too. You call your mother. She picks you up from the airport, takes you to her house where you spend the night. If you didn't spend the night there, one thing I do know, you didn't spend the night at your apartment. So we're through with that. Now, since we know that Vince is a monster and a predator, a murderer, I need to know from Bridget, nobody else, from Bridget. Since we know all these things about him, and since we know that he was cleaning the apartment with lots of bleach and he ran out, he had to go get some more bleach. He didn't pick you up that night. Why in the fuck didn't you go home? I ain't have my key. Oh, goddamn. You got more goddamn answers than Donald Dumb Jackass Trump that don't make any damn sense. Kick the door in. He should be there. If they're not, call maintenance. They'll get you in. You didn't go. So what you said about what he was doing in the apartment with bleach, it didn't really faze you. A good mother, she wouldn't even have him to pick up. She'd got a cab and went home. Her child's in there. Her child's in there. But there's no need for Bridget to do that because Bridget knows what Vince does to the child. And it's okay with Brittany because Brittany either sits and watch it or Brittany is a participator. Brittany either watches or she's a participator. Bridget, somebody said she's a victim. That's a damn lie. Bridget is not a victim. Bridget is a suspect and needs to be charged for first-degree murder. She killed the child. She hated the child. She went home. She went to her mom's house, y'all. Getting her alibi together. That's what she was doing. That's exactly why she went there. So we won't be at the house together. You go on to the hospital. Maybe she drove him. I don't believe everything she's saying about Vince is true. I think she's been doing this for years. Because this is not her first run-in with CPS now. I don't know if you know that. This is not her first one. She had one last year and before then. Now, I want to ask the judge, why did you sign an order to send the kids back to hell? Surely you know the state's going to have to take some of this blame too now. You know that. And if all it takes to get your children back from foster care from the state is for you to complete a parenting class, well, that sucks. That sucks. All you got to do is say the right damn thing. Will you beat your child? No, I don't believe in that. I believe in time out. Okay, you passed. That's it. The state dropped the ball on this one. They did. They did. I can't understand the hospitals. Why you kept letting her go back home? One time, blood was coming outside of her brain. She said she sitting at the table in a chair by herself, she was eating, and she fell on the floor. And she got a big gash like that? Bullshit. Don't make any sense. Brittany is a murderer. Someone says, where is the 5-year-old son? I have no idea. I know when, in 2018, in August, I know when they came and took him, that time they placed him with a relative, but later on when something else came up, I hope I got it right, they chose not to place them with a relative again. I'm also suspect to the grandmother. So, my voice is trying to go out, and this is an hour. Okay, now, let's talk. I'm going to answer some of you all's questions tonight. I had got some of them off of the YouTube thing earlier today. Victoria said, meaning the mom knew damn well. Exactly. I don't have a doubt in my mind that Bridget knew what was going on. Brittany is lying. I mean, it's Brittany is lying. She has no remorse. I cannot believe everything that she's saying about Vince. CPS has so much blood on their hands. Along with the judge, Miss Welch, you are a Victoria. You are exactly right because we can't just let them get away because this happens more often than you know. It's a caseload for workers. Get it off my desk, send them back. Y'all signed the thing, you did this, you did that, you watched the video, you did that, okay, here's your certificate. That needs to be changed. Now, why did they drop $1 million bond to 45,000? I haven't read, I have no earthly idea. But I mean, I don't it makes no damn sense for you to give him $1 million bond, then you drop it down to 45,000. So are you trying to let him get out? Well, just give him a goddamn, let him come back on his own recognizance. Drop the whole damn thing. There's a lot of covering up in Houston, Texas. And it needs to be exposed. It needs to be exposed. Her father, okay, it reminds me of cases. Oh, yes, okay, yeah. And someone asked about the neighbors, why the neighbors didn't complain. I don't know. Maybe they didn't know. I don't know why they didn't, but my thing, rather than just the neighbors, why did the state get it wrong? Why did the judge get it wrong? Why were they allowed to go back? Somebody says, I'm mad at grandmother, Miss Robbins. Well, I'm mad at your grandmother too, because she's suspect to me. Her demeanor, her facial expressions, Someone said about they are Hispanics, okay. Now let's talk about Hispanics. And it's getting hot in here, so I'm going to take my jacket off. Let's talk about Hispanics. Vince says, and that's really no need for me to do the whole thing off, because you know it by now. But he said when he pulled over, because he heard a popping sound, and he thought he was having a flat, a blue Chevy pickup truck pulled in right behind him, made comments about Maleah. Next thing you knew, it was two Hispanics. One guy hit him in the head, and he was unconscious. Now, I've done this twice, I'm going to do it again. I'm not saying this the way it happened, but watch this. In order for dumb Vince to get the box of card-shaped knot on his forehead, that person would probably have to have, let's say, maybe a 2x4. I'm not saying this what they had, for instance. And they would be standing there, and Vince is here. So they're coming from the side. That's what he had meant. Or he's standing here. That person that's working with him, standing right there, he'd go ahead and do it. Boom. That's it. That knot is not enough to knock your ass unconscious. It's not enough. It's not enough. Texas is a very racist big state. Well, we're going to come to Texas then. We ain't coming to Texas to make trouble. We coming to Texas because there is trouble. So we're coming. Here's the thing. You was knocked unconscious. He alleges that he kept going in and out, in and out, in and out. Damn, you can remember a lot in your unconscious. They kept you in the back of the truck for almost 24 hours just riding around. Well, they didn't have their shit together, did they? They didn't. But let's go ahead and put Vince's lies to sleep. Vince, first of all, I don't know how lucky child predators could be to pull up behind you because you thought you had a flag and you have two kids, but they only want one, and that's the girl. So they take the girl, and they're keeping you and the boy hostage, and eventually they let you go. Well, I don't know why they would do that, because that's just super stupid to me, because you can ID them. You know how the truck looks. You probably know what the tag is. So for them to do that, they may as well give you their driver's license and say, when you go to the police, give them this. It makes no damn sense. That's super stupid. Super stupid. Now, they take your car. Why would they take your car? I have no idea. But they did. He says, hey, can you please tell me how to get in touch with people? I miss importing something. I don't know what she was saying. Send me an email. So they take your car. I don't know why. But when we find the car is in a shopping center, out in the open. Easy to see. A cab driver found it. Car was somewhat clean. Inside of the trunk, cadaver dogs came, found the laundry basket. Dogs came and they smelled the scent of a decomposing body. And I know we all keep saying this is sad, and it is. I'm asking you for your email. Yes, it's on the thing there somewhere, but it's investigationscott@gmail.com. Investigationscott@gmail.com. I really enjoy your show. They're doing a lot of covering up. They are doing a lot of covering up. And here's the thing. Here's what we have to stop doing. We have to stop letting them get away with this here. This has nothing to do with race. This is a human issue. And and states and mouths should not separate us when it comes to doing what's right. There's nothing on the planet that this 4-year-old girl could have done for them to. And I can believe that someone says they think Bridget may have been the driver. And that's very well possible because Bridget's story is just not adding up, you know. I have read so many comments and everybody's pissed. Everybody's pissed because they know Bridget is lying. Someone wants to know why haven't they charged Vince with first-degree murder? Okay, well, this is may not necessarily be true, but here's maybe why I think they haven't done it yet. We don't have a body yet. They're hoping he would tell where he put her at, and they would go and get it. It's going to be extremely easier to prosecute them, not just him, them, when they have a body. So that could be why they're waiting on charging him with first-degree murder. That could be it. Don't hold me to that. I'm just saying that could be it. And that was one of the reasons they said his bond so high. They didn't want him to move because remember they interviewed him once, and after that you had to go find him. So now, what Vince didn't know is that in Bridget's little mind, she was already planning, if it got bad, to put everything on him. And here's what we're going to do. Watch, this is what Bridget thinks. We're going to side with the female because that's the mother. And it's not his child, it's her child. He's just the step. Whether he's married or not, people, that's besides the point. Whether he's married or not, he's the stepfather. So they're more likely to believe Bridget because it's her child and it's not his child. And then Bridget comes and makes some strong allegations against Vince that has yet to be proven. But it's not working out as planned. And there's nothing wrong with her having a spokesperson. I speak for people all the time. But here's where the problem come in at with me and X. You know this woman is telling a damn lie, but you still represent her and you still speak for her. That can kill your career right there. When we done that poll 2 days straight and asked, should Bridget go to jail? Every damn body said yes. Everybody. Well, no. One lady, and that was on YouTube. She wrote this long book, and I told her, don't come on my channel writing no damn book. Don't try to write your memoirs on my page. Don't do that. It's like, I have to forgive and all that. Well, you do the forgiving and let us do the damn hanging and stuff. Bridget needs to be locked up. You have to think about that child. And when he was coming out of that apartment, and he was carrying the laundry basket, and we saw the garbage bag, and people kept saying, I see her face, I see her face, I see her face. And I'm looking, someone sent the picture to me again today, closer up, and all I could do was I just emailed back and said, you're right, and that's it. This is diabolical, and it's very disturbing, but even those two terms are an understatement for what has happened to this little girl who was 4 years old. And it should never hurt for a child to go home. It should never hurt. If we don't have surveillance video of Bridget at the airport, on the plane, getting off the plane, suspect. Even if we do, suspect. I promise you all this here. Whether they prosecute her or not, Bridget is not innocent on this. So it's not fair that Vince bite the bullet by himself. It's not fair. It by no means necessary am I condoning what he's doing or trying to take up for him. But what I am telling you is that if they were involved in it together, then they should do time together. Simple as that. Maleah didn't know that on April 30th, shortly after 8 a.m., she'd be dead. But she was hesitant to walk in that door that day when I'm watching her. And it's hard to watch. And I'm looking at him, and all I'm saying in my mind, I want to kill that son of a bitch. I want to kill that son of a bitch. I don't think he deserves to live on the planet with us anymore. I don't think Bridget deserves to live on the planet with us anymore. There was a reason back in August of 2018 that the children had to be removed from their home. I don't know, someone, does she have insurance on the child? I don't know. What I do know is that a crime has been committed. When they got to the apartments, they saw droppings of blood. That can explain why he had large amounts of bleach. Once they clean with bleach, criminals think that the bleach is gone, you can't find it. Well, you come in there with luminol and you spray every damn thing, and the next thing you know, you cut the lights out and it lights up like a damn blue Christmas tree. So they're not the smartest criminals on the planet. I don't think it's a person that I've spoken with right now that has not been touched by this. I spoke with my baby brother, Timmy Lowe, earlier today, and I could hear it in his voice. It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing what they did to that child. The child had to have numerous brain surgeries. Nobody gave a damn. Nobody cared. Nobody. They failed. The state, they failed. The police, they failed. The judge, they failed. And I just want to know, why did CPS feel it was okay to send them back? I don't know a damn thing about no parenting skills, and they completed all. God damn, that's just like in high school. Blah, 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 get it over. That's not going to get it. That's not how you get people ready to be parents, by putting them in some damn 30 or 60 or 90-day class and saying all the right things and sign here, then we get your certificate, then you go back for the judge and get your kids back. As long as there's violence in the mind, there's going to be violence in the house. And that child was placed into the hands of evil. And Bridget, the mother, signed her own child's death warrant. She hated that child. Somebody said the biological father failed her as well. Someone says she should be ashamed. I doubt that. There's no remorse. But if you want to see remorse, Bridget is going to get ready to give it to you. Because they're schooling her. You got to start crying. You got to do something. You got to do something to get your eyes watered because it's too dry. Bridget has no reasonable excuse for why she didn't go home that night to her children. She said he was a predator. So you knew he was a predator before you went to go bury your daddy. And so that means you didn't say anything. So you watched and you participated. Both. Both of y'all should be executed on the damn spot. You're monsters in human form. And we need to start a dialogue about this more, because this is not the first time it has happened, and I promise you it will not be the last unless we begin to talk about this more, and we have to question the system. The system does not always get it right. That's why we have to go to meetings and voice our concerns over things such as this. When I look at that little girl in the grass that day, I have to stop because I begin to start crying. Because I can only imagine what she was thinking. I can only imagine what he had done. So I'm trying to be calm tonight because I told him I get a little too excited, but it disturbs me. She's gone. That's it. Someone said something, and I understood what the lady said, and I agreed with her. It may sound cruel, what I'm about to say, but I felt her point. And before we leave, this is what she said. And I'm paraphrasing, so I can't remember exactly what she put. Here's what she said. She said, y'all may not like this, but I'm glad she's gone. She said, at least now, she's in no more pain. And I agreed. I said, yeah, you all right, she's in no more pain. And we hate to hear that, but, you know, it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. So, Maleah, I love you. I can't speak for those two individuals, but I promise you, I love you, and everybody that's watching this show tonight, everybody that has signed your card, I promise you, two people on the planet we cannot speak for. But from us to you right now, we love you. We hate this happened to you. We didn't know. We apologize. We love you. Know one thing. You did nothing. You did nothing wrong to deserve what was done to you. Nothing. You was just placed into the hands of evil. That's it. You did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. I love y'all. Thank you all for tuning in this evening. Vince may have had. Everybody's telling you that they love you. Thank you, guys. They're telling you that they love you. All right, people. You all have a good evening, and be it the Lord willing, then the creek don't rise. We'll be back Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. We want to discuss this tonight, and if you all would like to discuss it again, I promise you we will. But let's make a change. Let's hold the system accountable. Let's show them what they need to do. The classes, we know they're not working. People say what needs to be said, do what needs to be done to get their children back. Not necessarily because they want their children a lot of times. A lot of times their children come with entitlements, and they just want the benefits of that. They felt that child big time, and it hurts like hell. People all over this country is talking about this one little girl. She's got everybody at a standstill right now. And my favorite picture of her, and we're going to get out of here, she's on my Injustice page on Facebook. She's got, I think, a rose in her hand that's red. And it looks like she's giving it to someone. And every time you see her, she's smiling. But for what I know she went through, she was unhappy. And with that being said, it should never hurt to go home. Love your children. Be good to your children. Validate your kids at an early age, because if you don't, the streets will, and you won't like them. If you think something is going on, you owe it to that child to report it. If you're wrong, then you're wrong. But I would rather for you to report it than say, I wish I had. Yes, it's too late then. You just left with regrets. I love you all. Maleah, we love you too. Before we knew you, you belongs to God, and back to God you go. I'm Al Scott with Justice Investigations. I thank you all for tuning in. I will see you all Wednesday night.